a game that will most certainly be won at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And like Washington with Damon Williams, Iowa has a running quarterback. But you could not have a bigger difference in the style of running quarterbacks than there is between Williams and Iowa quarterback Mark Gronowski. He is more than happy. As a matter of fact, he wants to be running in between the tackles, and that is so rare. I think of Tim Tebow and Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
I really can't come up with another legitimate comparison.
Yeah, and it's going to be a fun matchup because obviously Minnesota and Danny Collins, the defensive coordinator, they're going to load the box. They are going to force Iowa to try to beat you. This is going to be a fun game for me to watch Tim Lester, the offensive coordinator for Iowa. I really think he's one of the more underrated play callers in all of college football. We used to sit up here every week and we couldn't say anything about Iowa's offense. Now we're talking about scheme, and we know Iowa's going to run the ball, but it's how they do it. What is Tim Lester's counter to Minnesota sending all-out pressure? And we saw it last week in a key moment, a critical play. They had the quarterback keeper called to Mark Gronowski. The only two people that knew that was coming was Tim Lester and Mark Gronowski. They installed that in real time on the sideline. So there's going to be a little bit of a chess match right there at the line of scrimmage. The Hawkeyes' offensive line has been dominant. But then the flip side is true for Minnesota. Really, they've been a pass-first team this year, actually, especially when Darius Taylor's been injured. This is not a historic Hawkeye defense, but they still are the Iowa Hawkeyes. They don't give you too much. So what I'm looking for is, can Minnesota avoid the big mistake? This is going to be a close game, a back-and-forth game. You want to avoid that big back-breaking mistake. Usually that's how the Hawkeyes get the win.
Danny Collins is a name that is getting a lot of run right now. Young DC doing terrific things, just getting his career started at Minnesota. Phil Parker on the flip side, the DC for Iowa, been there forever, the old grizzled vet. I just think you need to remember when you look at Iowa and the two losses that the Hawkeyes have this year. To Iowa State, 54-yard field goal at the end of the game to beat them. Indiana scores a late touchdown to win with Gronowski sidelined. I mean, this is a Hawkeye team, and I know nobody right now is really talking about Iowa as a playoff team or a Big Ten contender because of what Ohio State and Indiana have done. This is a team that's basically 2 plays away, Jake, from being 7-0.
And we know Indiana's just been dominant all season long. They have dominated effectively everybody. And you look at that game, and I can't help but think and say, if Gronowski doesn't get injured against Indiana, what happens to the result of that game? And then what happens to our conversation about the Hawkeyes? But yes, as we've said early in the show, there is 3 matchups featuring 6 different 5-2 teams this weekend, which means it's great opportunities for these teams to win and start to separate a little bit.